Hey there, it's Ben from Benzochess here with another video, and this lesson is about removing the defender. I'm going to go over this intro problem to give you an idea what removing the defender is, and then I'm going to start giving you multiple problems. Okay, so in this first problem that you see currently right now, we actually have the black pieces, this queen and this bishop, are as a battery, and they are lining up against this pawn here. And that's two attackers versus one defender. Okay, so black's thinking, well, hey, I win a free pawn. And he goes over here and he gobbles it up like so. But the problem is, this is the only defender of the queen, the black queen. And now, with these three pieces here, they are blocking the black king, the enemy king, and he's actually currently on the back rank. So the white rook can actually go back and check the king. Now, three ways you can get out of check is to take the checker, which we can't, run away, which the king can't either, so now he has to block. And once he moves the bishop to block the check, there's no more defending piece on the queen, and then our queen just simply takes the queen. Okay, so here's the first problem I'm giving you. And like it says here, the e6 knight decides to protect his friend on b3. So he's protecting the guy on b3, and he came from here. So how can we win a knight? Remember, we're trying to remove the defender. And I'm going to give you the answer. And, well, you can pause your video right now if you want to try solving. Otherwise, I'm going to give you an answer in 5 seconds if you don't pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this knight is the defender. He's defending his piece. And this is known as removing the defender. So the only way we can remove the defender, since we want to take his knight, we push this pawn here, attacking the knight, like so. And after he moves out of the way, he is no longer defending this knight. So then we get a free knight. Okay. Let's move on. Here's the next problem. And black could have just traded queens, but instead he wanted to play here and double up and have a very strong d-file protection and just control the d-file. Is that really the correct move? So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to pause your video. Otherwise, after 5 seconds, I'm going to tell you the answer. So in 5, and it's white to move, okay? So 5, let me remove this. White to move. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the rook is the protector. We want to remove the rook from protecting the queen. We can throw a little sacrifice here by giving a check, which is a fork, and black has a choice to either run away with his king, run to g7, or take the rook, which he decides to take the rook. But now this queen is unprotected, so now we take the queen. Okay, white was checking the king, and black decides to block. So right now, the king is protecting the queen. Here, I'm not going to give you any hints. I'm going to just give you the answer. But I'm going to give you 5 seconds to pause your video and try solving on your own. So it's white to move here. What would you play? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you haven't paused your video, do it quickly, otherwise this will be the answer. The king is protecting the queen, right? So we want to remove the king from protecting the queen. So let's give this nice sacrifice here of rook takes pawn. So the king's forced to take the rook to at least get something out of the trade. And now the queen will take a free queen. Check. He still moved. Okay. So what else can white do here? 3, 2, 1. If you haven't noticed, there's a free piece there. Bam. Here is your next problem. It is white to move. I'll give you 5 seconds. So pause your video. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's a little bit too late, but this bishop is overly protecting both pieces. So we have to remove the bishop from protecting at least the knight. So actually, we get a free pawn here. But if the bishop takes back, well, he takes our knight, we'll take his knight because it's not protected anymore. And we actually trade the knights pretty much, but won a free pawn. Okay, so let's go to the next problem. Here I have an example, and pretty much I'm trying to describe here that the overall goal in this position, before we go to the actual problem, is black. We're playing black here, and we're just trying to checkmate the enemy king, which is now white. Okay, he has 2 squares, we've got 2 rooks, we can swing in here, no problem, and it'll be checkmate. So, and it's because we got strong rooks as a battery on the second or 7th file. Right now it's currently the 2nd. So rook to h2, check. King has to go to h1, and then checkmate. This is what we're trying to aim for the next problem. It's going to be very similar. When we get to this problem, the rook just moved over here attacking our rook. We will love to go here, check, and then mate. Well, that's the problem. We can't do that because the white rook can actually take us back. And don't forget, you're black here, okay? The white rook is protecting that square, so we cannot give a checkmate by rook to h2 check. It is black to move. We need to remove the defender somehow. I'll give you 5 seconds for black to move. 5, and you can pause your video. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the answer is we have to look at this rook. It's the defender. We have to remove that rook from defending. So we'll play this queen right here, which attacks rook. And if the rook takes, guess what? Check, mate. Okay. Now, what if the queen takes instead? Instead of the rook taking, the queen takes. Okay. Well, I'll give you a second to think about this. And pause if you need to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So if the queen took instead to try to throw us off, it'll be a simple check. And then either here or here is mate. So let's see, try here. Also, queen g2 is checkmate. That also works. Okay. Here is another problem, and this one is white to move. This one's a very difficult problem. Okay, we're starting to get more and more difficult here. So it's white to move. I'll give you 5 seconds to pause and try to solve this. Otherwise, I will give you the answer. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So here, this is very interesting of a problem. You're probably thinking of, well, if my knight takes here, it's actually checking the king and checking the rook, right? But the problem's the queen will take back after that move, which would just end up being a trade. So that doesn't work. The defender is this queen, is defending that bishop. So we want to get that fork. So the actual move is taking this rook to take the knight and remove the queen from defending the bishop. After the queen takes, can you guess? Yes, it is this knight taking the bishop. And after the king moves, we take the rook. And now if you look at it, we got 3 pieces versus 2. We should be able to win this with the extra knight. Okay, we're almost done here. We are almost done. Okay, so here is a very difficult problem. So it is white to move. I'll give you 5 seconds to pause and try to figure out who is the main defender we have to get rid of. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is very difficult. Now, what you're probably hoping for is a simple thing like knight comes here to check the king and the forking the queen. Pretty much it looks like a checkmate. So the rook will take and queen will take, right? Well, it's almost winning. The knight takes back, which then it will be a trade. You're trading queens, you're losing a knight to a rook. Maybe our rook will take back, but it's pretty much could be better for black after this whole calculation. It's crazy. So the real defender is this knight here. So we have to remember or try to figure out how to remove him, right? I get rid of all these arrows, make it easier for you. Okay. We have to get rid of that knight with rook takes here. After the pawn takes back, now we can take this knight and jump right here. He has to take with the rook or he's pretty much lost. Now we can take the queen and we won material. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next problem. This is the very, very last problem. This is very difficult. As you can see, we have a battery with our 2 white rooks. It's white to move. This is not a puzzle to solve because it's very long. Okay, so here white has a threat of a back ring checkmate with the double rooks on the e file. The problem is that white only has 2 attackers and black has 2 defenders, which are the queen and the rook. Those 2 guys are defending this rook here. The goal for white is to remove a defender on the e8 square, which we have to remove either the rook or the queen against this rook here. Okay? So the first move, if you want to try this, you can pause very quick. Well, I think I got the answers here. It's very hard to see this. I mean, you could try not looking at the answer, but the first move is you got to play queen g4. It's like a queen sacrifice pretty much, right? And if the queen takes, well, then you have check, takes back, and mate. That's what's going to happen. So that's not going to happen. It's going to be queen right here. Queen to b5. Oh, and we can look at these sides, right? So go back, queen g4, queen takes. We got bam, wham, slam, checkmate. So we're going to go back to this queen to g4, right? Queen to g4, queen to b5 is the best play to keep on protecting the e8 rook. But now, queen to c4. Perfect. And you know what happens? Queen takes, it's checkmate. So let's look at example. Queen takes, it'll be bam, wham, slam, right? Checkmate. So we can't do that. So queen goes there. Queen goes back to d7. Now, queen to c7. Crazy. This is just crazy. Either the rook or a queen takes, and you just only have one defender on the square. So if he takes here, you only have one defender. And vice versa. If he goes there, you only have one defender. So queen b5 has to be played. But if we go back, let's see the two examples. Rook takes, check, mate. And if we go back, what if queen takes? That's what will happen. Okay. So the proper move after c7 is back to b5. Okay. Now, you would think the queen will take, but that's not proper for queen takes c8 because it doesn't work. So this doesn't work because of c8, and you just have still two protectors. So that's not going to work. Okay. Doesn't work. Going back to a4? No, we're going to go back to queen goes to b5, right? After queen b5, what else does not work is rook to e8, because, yeah, we're going to see here. Rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, queen takes, and takes a5. It's only a win of a pawn. And let's go here. After queen b7, which we want to get to, doesn't work either because queen takes here, rook takes e2. This check is going to throw us off. After knight comes here, checks, and mate. So there's a lot on our plate here to play the correct move. And we got the queen covering here, here, and we just need to get these two covered to force the queen off of this diagonal. That's what we were trying to do. So a4 is throwing the queen off. Now queen has to take a4. You know, queen taking rook doesn't work. Then rook to e4 is very important. Okay. Now what you would think is, what if black plays here? This doesn't work because of queen to c8 check. There's only, you know, now two defenders, and we actually have an x-ray attack here. So we actually have 2 attackers versus 2 defenders. But after he moves 1, we still have 2 attackers. He only has 1 defender. So now we take with the queen. Rook takes back, and checkmate. So going back, after queen takes a4, rook to e4 is the best play by white. Queen b5 has to be played. Okay. And now, queen takes c7. Look at this. Attacks here, and attacks here, while this rook attacks here. This whole diagonal is blocked off by the queen. The queen is going to move off that diagonal somehow. So now, doesn't matter what happened, it's going to be game over. Let's say queen takes queen, right? Check and mate. Well, let's go back. What if here, after queen takes here, what if queen is c5? Well, that's still just checkmate there. And what about rook e d8? Trying to keep, you know, still 3 over there. Well, you just lose a queen. So, to see it from the very beginning, it starts off queen g4, queen goes back, trying to get the queen off that diagonal again. Queen staying on that diagonal. We attack the queen again. Queen staying on that diagonal. We have to chase the queen off. This pawn is very important. Okay, very important to play right now. Because we need to get that rook covering that square before we take b7. So after the queen takes e4, now we can cover that square. After the queen comes back here again, we actually gain a free move, and now queen takes and black is lost. Doesn't matter what black does, he is toast. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and the link to this lesson and these puzzles will be at the end of the course.